Have you ever had a situation where you are trying to create content, but you're just really tired creating hooks, trying to figure out what works, what doesn't? It just have you ever had that feeling? Well, I know many of you guys probably wondering, well, like how do I solve that problem? How do I make sure that I can kind of create hooks on the fly without really thinking about any of that stuff and just kind of talk about whatever it is that I want to talk about, and hooks just created automatically for me in my own YouTube live video, and then gets blasted and you're good to go. So have you ever thought about that? So if you haven't thought about that, then think about a tool that can allow you do precisely what I just described. Create automatic hooks and calculate virality and feed you those hooks in order for you to increase engagement. So think about, what would that tool look like? Now, some of you will say, I get it, bro, but why do I need to really think about that hook? Why can't I just use a short form content button? Whenever I create lives, why can't I just do that? Well, the truth is, you can, but it will take you a little bit of time trying to figure out when and how. Thank you. So to kind of summarize, you can hit a short button, meaning you hit a small button on YouTube when you go live. That's called short. It's basically like it just looks like a little movie thing, movie clip. Precisely, that's what it. When producers always in a scene, directors always say cut, cut, cut. That button on YouTube, you have it. You have it, guys. Start using it. Now, imagine being able to increase engagement across your socials using the right tools. Now, why viral YouTube clipper? Why not something else? You see, guys, here's the secret. And let me tell you the secret. And I promise you guys, you're gonna love it. So check this out. The first time when I started using YouTube viral clipper, I didn't really think much about it. I thought about it, I was like, I bet that allows me to clip a bunch of small short form clips from my own YouTube video. And I thought about it, I was like, man, that's kind of fire, because I mean, I'm super lazy. I don't really want to be sitting there thinking of any hooks. And this thing just does it for me. It just clips automatically whatever the video that I want from my channel. You see, guys, nowadays your brain is so smart, it can create infinite number of hooks. So why bother trying to sit over there thinking of what hooks to create when they could just be created automatically, directly from your life, the very same life when you're vibing with other people. Now, the question is, like, how do you create the automatic hooks, and how do you force AI to create those automatic hooks without you really creating them, but just vibing with people? How do you do that? Let me go ahead and describe how. It's so easy. So guys, when I designed the YouTube viral clipper, I used the criteria. I used Gemini API to tap into the transcript of the YouTube clip and extract some of those high-pitched sounds and some of those pieces, some of those like viral movements. Like how was I able to stitch everything together and figure out what is the viral movement and what information does it have, what title and description and hashtags, like how was I able to figure that out? Well, see, guys, I looked at there's a special prompt that I used that looks for specific variations of tonality in your voice. And it takes a little bit of time until you get to be super good with creating those variations. And once you get super good with creating them, AI is gonna be gazillion times easier for AI to understand when to clip that specific moment out of your video. And so that's what I started doing, and sure enough, shortly I was able to generate thousands of clips on cruise control. Now, granted, social platforms, they don't really like when you just create a short form video in a lazy way. They want to make sure that it's an actual human. So how did I solve that problem? Well, you see, what I did is I introduced an extra way to make it look like it's human. So what I did is, instead of just making this YouTube viral clipper work on a computer, I made it work on iPhone. So, and of course, you guys already know, those social platforms, they like when you do things from iPhone. They don't like when you do things from a computer, because that could be like a, like a robot API, that kind of stuff connecting. So obviously, I thought about it, and I did some experiments to see, if it's really true. And I compared both videos, the one that was clipped from my computer. Only if somebody told me about this discovery when I first started. But I discovered something spicy. I discovered exponential, a laptop. So what does that mean? Immediately, that's when I doubled down on Freedom Fusion automations that encompass combination of both desktop automations and iPhone mobile automations. Because I knew, what would be the point of me working on kind of a desktop automation, which is easy, anybody can do, but not so many people can do mobile-based automation that's based on your iPhone. And that's where my talent agency started seeing very good results. Not only from just whipping out automations in in a mobile world, but from the standpoint of how easy it was out of a sudden to integrate some of those TikTok gurus that are just describing their strategies, working so hard, explaining it to people, except in reality, information for many people just into one ear and comes out of another ear. It never actually registers. So I thought about it. Why kind of explaining anything to people? Why not just operationalize what works from some of those TikTok gurus telling you what's hot, and including that directly in our automations? So all you do is just press a button and get guided by a little AI avatar that walks you through the whole process. And yeah, and then smooth sailing. You just use some of those techniques. You get guided. You don't have to remember what the TikTok guru mentioned, because they mentioned so many different things, and many moms over 40 struggle to reproduce whatever it is that they mention. And of course, we realize that information overload is a problem for many moms over 40. So that's where we doubled down on our automations and started expanding feature after feature, sniping all of those TikTok gurus and operationalizing their brain directly into our workflows. And those workflows called Freedom Fusion automations. How fire is that? In fact, we just released a new feature that has to do with cyclical looping. So what that means is, it's kind of mouthful, but cyclical looping is when you take a small clip, you start off with something catchy, and then you finish that clip also with something catchy. And the intent of that clip is to fool the brain to replay the video again without realizing that. And then when you do that, YouTube pushes you like crazy. And this functionality, this cyclical loop of getting those clips to be on cruise control, produced like this with that cyclical loop, is what we operationalized recently into our YouTube viral clipper. How far is that? That means not only do you get to clip lots of clips on cruise control from your own short form video, but you also get cyclical loops extracted out of those videos, in combination, not only being extracted but prescribed to you while doing TikTok live, so you remember to create a cyclical loop while going live. How far is that? Millions of views, guys. Millions of views using this strategy. Many moms over 40 already using that. millions of views, guys. It's absolutely bonkers. If you crack that code, guys, and it's already cracked for my subscribers and luxury pet mom over 40 who are my threads stock subscribers, this YouTube viral clipper is available. But like, this is the tea. This is, oh my god, like, this is crazy, guys. Process this small piece of information and let me know if you want access to YouTube viral clipper. I'll hook you up. My subscription is $14.99 to get access to our innovative Freedom Fusion automations that release mental overload and makes it super easy for you to spawn insane amount of money. I'll see you guys next time. Hopefully you enjoyed this session. I encourage you guys to subscribe because this kind of tea you won't hear anywhere. It's absolute fire. Not only you get to hear this tea, you get to see how we building this entire tea in our community. If you guys are interested in getting access to our community, all you gotta do is DM the word TH to discover your Freedom Fusion path to become a freedom founder versus a process prisoner. I don't want you to be a process prisoner, guys. Are you kidding me? Like, just think about it. How much time are you spending on TikTok? Doom scrolling 5 hours a day, 10 hours a day. I know some of you scrolling for like 7 hours per day. Why? When you could just be making money using some of those automations. Now, of course, it's a little difficult because nobody explains it. Nobody makes it easy to understand. But I promise, guys, with our automations, you don't even need to understand. It's that crazy. Now, we do want you to kind of to make AI stronger, to recognize those viral moments. We do want you to be like developing at least some skills. Like, for example, the way I'm varying my tonality right now. That's the skill that I like you to learn. At least one skill, because that's gonna be a gazillion times easier for YouTube viral clipper to figure this viral moment out of your life. Is just you just go live and you just kind of talk about whatever it is that you want to talk about, and then of course in a mix show some describe some products, programs, or services that you are offering, and the YouTube viral clipper will do the rest, and this will simplify your mental overload and just makes it so much easier. I see so many moms over 40 just struggling, like trying to figure out hooks to create. Oh my god, like literally getting exhausted when all they have to do is just use few tools. Unfortunately, nobody really explains those things in deep details. So a lot of TikTok gurus, they have they have like an intent to sell you something. In my particular case, we're just doing this for our talent agency. And of course, if you guys want to see how we're doing this for our talent agency, you most certainly can follow, subscribe, and see what kind of tricks we're doing. Because we're doing it to, first of all, get the business people, like restaurant owners or any other kind of people. I'm creating a proposal now for New York University. I'm pitching them one of our feudal incubators. And of course, it takes a little bit of time to pitch something, and it takes a little bit of time to get in front of the right audience. So we need to have very creative marketing strategies that are applicable by many moms over 40 and many people. And we realize that, like, listening to TikTok gurus telling what's hot, and not being able to kind of rationalize any of that is kind of like a waste of time. So what we did instead, we say no more just kind of giving you any more strategies unless those strategies can be operationalized with some of those tools, with some of those AI avatars that could be right in front of you, getting together with you, smile, understanding your gestures, understanding if you're smiling, and feeding you some of those workflows. So this way you're not stressed out. This way you feel really good about yourself. And of course, guys, this is my this is just so easy. Many of you can do it. If you really want to see how we're doing this live, I do have a community. We have close to 100,000 side hustlers who who are in my community and over 100 coaches. And also, I'm part of another community where I became a top goat. It didn't take me that long to become a goat. And of course, guys, we do have some automations that will also help you become a goat. And so this way you could just spawn more money. The instance you become a goat, it's just going to be so easy for you to spawn extra money and be able to resell anything. And of course, that's what we offer. We have, well, other than YouTube viral clipper, we have another automation called the Skooky Sis. I don't know what I was on. I don't know how many blunts I smoked that day to come up with a name like that. But the Skooky Sis got to be borderline illegal automation. What it could do, it could like literally, guys, get you to level up on school communities by befriending other goats and mixing whatever it is that you want to sell in the process. It's absolutely insane. It does require, like, the way it works is you just open it up on your phone and it just scans all of your posts that you created or interacted with on school, and it mixes those posts together with your future posts, and it just allows you to literally have the 360-degree view of all of your posts that you have done in the past, especially if you're like a really kind of a smart, opinionated person who really need to be seen, and you're just struggling and nobody sees you, but you have so much knowledge, but like nobody sees that knowledge. The Skooky Sis is definitely for you. Now, why is that? Because just think about it. And this is, many moms come crying to me on my shoulder and say, Rome, I'm like, I just, I create so much content, but it's not being seen by anybody. And I asked them, well, are you repurposing that content in any automatic or semi-automatic way? And they're like, what do you mean? And when I show them the Skooky Sis, they just, their brain just gets like, oh my God, I didn't know that you could just show all of the posts that you engaged with in the past and just click like a button, generate a post button, and it will automatically create a message and open up like a little robot that just goes in, opens school community, and include your message, but also include some other goat's message. So this way you don't get banned from school community. There's so much tea, guys, like inside of the Skooky Sis, because if you were to just create anything at all in the school community, the chances of you getting banned are like really high. unless it's a really cool person who just kind of doesn't really care much, like me, then then yes, guys, you will not get banned. But the truth is, a lot of people do care, and they're not like cool like me, easygoing, and just going with the flow, whatever, right? And my majority of the cases, when people see you try to promote anything in a school community, you get banned right away. So how was I able to become the top creator across two communities in just a really short period of time? Like, what was the secret? Well, the secret was promoting goats in the same community. When you go to jail, and by any means, I didn't go to prison or anything like this, but when you go to jail, I'm sure you've seen some of the movies, guys, but like, some people are so scared to go to jail, and they watch a lot of movies like What to Do When You Go to Jail. And I remember watching one documentary where the guy said, like, as soon as I was so scared going to jail, as soon as I arrived to jail, I found the biggest goat in jail. And what I did is I started to fight with that goat, and I got beat up so bad. But I knew if I didn't do that, I would be getting picked by other people for the rest of my sentence. Guys, the same exact thing applies in the school communities, or any communities for that matter. You have to be nuts, guys. You have to be nuts. Like in some communities, I'm not even getting promoted. I'm not considered as a goat because I'm like borderline nuts. But because I'm borderline nuts, billion-dollar company like Pepsi loved this craziness so much that they created a drink called Freedom Fusion after my talent agency's name. What does it tell you guys? It just tells you that you want to be borderline nuts, but not actual nuts. Guys, look, I'm gonna make it super easy for you to hone in on that comparison. When you go to prison and when you end up being like picking on a top goat and beating that goat up, and then like then you have a good time because people respect you. You're the same thing you want to do in the school community, except you don't really want to be picking fights with the top goat. Instead, you want to promote the goat. You want to promote the goat, guys. And I see so many people doing it wrong. I see so many people doing it wrong. I see like people just promoting themselves, and then they get stuck for like years just promoting themselves and not seeing any results, guys. As soon as I changed that, I used to be like that too. As soon as I changed that and started promoting a goat, it was like a volcano. It was it was like eruption happening in my results, guys. That's all you gotta do. You gotta promote a goat. Like if you don't have a goat to promote, you could always promote me or any of my feudal hustlers or any other people. But what you gotta do when you promote them, you gotta give other people reasons to hire a goat for something. And this was the biggest secret. If you can't if you can't make any money yourself, but you see another person extremely with that person, then guys, this is no brainer. This is no brainer. And a lot of people, you won't get this tea unless you're listening to somebody who has a talent agency. You don't get that tea. This is the reason why I look for talent, not just from goats, but from other people who are not necessarily goats, who want to become goats, but don't have anything happening to them. And I come up to them and I say, look, um, just try this. Try using Scookiesys. Try using YouTube viral clipper. The Scookiesys will elevate you right away. It will help you level up in school community and include any kind of goat that you point the finger to. It will include that goat in the mix of your message, and the Scookiesys will do the rest. it will just go ahead and like promote you, and it will revisit your previous posts. It will like the way we designed Scookiesys is absolutely nuts. You could literally inside of the post communicate to your own self inside of the school community post and give a bunch of keywords for Scookiesys to notice. And what it's like, and then Scookiesys would see whatever you mentioned in the post, and it will come back and it will do it for you. How crazy is that, guys? While creating posts in school community, you providing you providing your AI bot, the Scookiesys, instructions to circle back and do something. Like what? Like, hey, let's say you have like two people communicating in the same post, and you're showing something mesmerizing. You're showing them how to create a beautiful automation, or showing some pet product, or showing them whatever it is that you're showing it to them. But somebody is interested in you, and they were like, oh, well, I want to learn more about it. Then you could literally respond with a post and say, Scookiesys, can you walk this person through booking an appointment with me? And then the Scookiesys would engage and communicate with that person who expressed interest. But the cool part about it, you could combine your voice. You could literally just kind of sit inside of the community, school community, and provide instructions to the cookie sis, while other people get to see those instructions. And this cookie sis would take that post. It would uh, it would communicate back with the person. It would take that post and remix it with another previous post. It will create stacked posts with your latest posts, and include other posts while clarifying everything whatever you did in other posts. Guys, do you guys understand how how crazy this is? Like, if you do this manually, you know how much mental overload you would go through to be able to pull this off? You would have a lot of mental overload. So much that you'll be like, oh my God, I can't do it. But with this, with the Skookie Sis and the YouTube viral clipper, you're gonna have smooth sailing. If you guys want access to the Skookie Sis and YouTube viral clipper, it's available for my Threads Stack subscribers for only $14.99. How much time you could save for your brand? Well, for my talent agency, for our small talent agency, we managed to save hundreds of hours per month just by using only two of those automations. Now, think about it. Is that $14.99 worth it? Well, for my talent agency, it was totally worth it. But imagine if you have a bunch of people in your company, where your company has like maybe 4 people or 5 people. Then out of a sudden, the timing and the amount of money you could save with this strategy, with those two automations alone, could be possibly into thousands of hours per month. Guys, without marketing, there is no money. Remember that. Without marketing, there's no money. This is why I double down on the cookies and YouTube viral clipper. Guys, I'm gonna be heading out to Florida in just a few days, and I'll be taking my subscribers with me to watch crocodiles and manatees. So subscribe. If you haven't subscribed yet, definitely subscribe. Not only do you get to have a lot of fun in this channel and learn some incredible strategies, not just learn, but operationalize them. Because whatever I talk about is operationalized inside of those automations. So instead of listening to TikTok gurus telling you what's hot, at least you don't have to listen to them anymore. You just press a button in automation, and it guides you through the whole procedure and helps you get insane amount of views, followers, leads, sales, you name it. So without further ado, guys, I'm gonna get going, and I'll see you next time.